Welcome to another quick gearing guide, my friends. So the 20th anniversary of World of Warcraft is here, the event is here, we spoke about kind of early thoughts about it. Today we're talking about what I consider an optimal gearing circuit, like things to do in a specific order, especially for those of us who have a lot of alts. That's all that this video is going to be about. It's not going to be a full overview of the whole event, every activity that you can do. I am only focusing on most impactful stuff that I recommend that you do, and setting realistic expectations. That's all. Please give me a quick like if you bothered to click on this video. I really appreciate you. And let me make it worth your while, shall we? You are naturally going to explore this hub. This hub kind of resemblant tiny bit, it's kind of a mix between Ardent Tournament in Ice Crown, if you remember that place, and maybe a bit of Darkmoon Fair. Yeah, so I actually quite like this hub. It's okay to explore, but it will entertain you for about 5 minutes walking around, answering random trivia questions. That's not a quest. Quests are those like real quests, the ones that you should bother about, and the ones that you should pick up first are the ones, obviously the blue ones, around the quest givers, that are promising to give you a purple chest. So walk around, make yourself comfortable, take a ride on the balloon if you really want to, don't waste your time, I say, and pick up the quests that offer you some kind of reward, some kind of chest. Now open the map and fly around to the active Tanaris Bosses. Naturally you start with the closest one, who is typically the Doom Walker, closest one to the hub, to the quest hub. So there might be some people who are just killing the boss right now, if you're lucky. So here's an example for you of where it's happening on my realm. I didn't even need to get into any raid, into any group. I could just pile on onto the boss and kill the boss for a possibility of some kind of loot. These bosses, and that's the best part about them, which is why they are #1 activity in my gearing circuit for you, these bosses are on daily reset, which is fantastic. So it's a daily chance at eye level 590 loot, which is nothing to sneeze at, in my humble opinion, because the lowest LFR item level gear that you can get for virtually no effort, but right now LFR gear starts from 584, which is considered to be sort of trashy, but I guess a fresh alt, completely fresh alt, is not gonna sneeze at that either, so we're gonna drive straight past that. Kill the bosses, fly around the map, kill the first one, kill the second one, kill the third one around Tanaris. That is what you're doing. Once you've done that, and especially if you feel like things are happening, you could be already queued for other things, but if you are in a raid to kill these bosses, the Tanaris bosses, then you obviously have to do that first in your raid, and then you are exiting the raid and queuing up for other things. What other things? You are going to queue up for Blackrock Depths raid, in also looking for a tool in LFR. There are 3 wings of BRD, and each wing will take you between 10 and 15 minutes to complete, if you are going to do all of them. It's okay. My early impressions of BRD are that, yes, there is a bit of nostalgia, and the bosses actually require you to pay attention. Of course, when everyone is overgearing content and you have if you're lucky, sorry, not of course, if you're lucky, and you have some characters like in eye level 600 gear that are doing this just for tokens and the time warped relic coffer keys that we'll talk about in a second, then it's going to be a very easy experience. There was also a surreal weird experience last night when I went on the second alt into BRD, and there was someone in item level 300 gear, a priest, and that priest was absolutely slaughtering those bosses, like one-shotting them. It wasn't even an effort. So there is some kind of glitch/bug right now in the game where the scaling of power versus item level, or maybe their actual level, I didn't pay particular attention. All I saw was that that priest was surging ahead in millions of DPS ahead of everyone else, and it reminded me of the craziness of Pandaria Remix that we experienced not that long ago. It was something similar. Some glitch allows that crazy overpowered kind of character there, like God mode, absolutely God mode. They were just erasing those bosses in BRD. It was actually fun. It was actually quite fun. I felt like we were completely useless, but it was a free ride for everyone. Anyway, do all the wings of BRD if you're serious about gearing your alt. It's fun-ish. Bosses are hard, especially as you go through the massive colonnade hall as when you're looking for the Flame Keepers, trying to find the torches and trying to remove the barrier before the final boss chamber opens. It's the worst part of BRD. In the final wing, if I'm not mistaken, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrendous, that process. There is so much trash. It is just not enjoyable at all. But it reminds you that the raids used to be very, very challenging in the past. It actually reminds you about it even in LFR. I think you should experience it, especially if you're a person who did not experience BRD, Blackrock Depths, in the long gone past. Okay? Now, what about the drops? What about the loot? It's all about the loot. Well, the drops are between item level 590 and 593. Kinda in my experience so far. They're pretty good. Again, it's better than the lower wings of Neroba Palace, LFR. So that's great. That's great. Weekly reward chest for killing the end boss and getting blueprints from him is item level 597, which is fantastic, with a couple of upgrades by using crests. Yeah, the usual upgrade system. Right now you can push to item level 600, and at item level 600, I am sure you would agree, as a casual, I think that's where more or less performance, more or less of self-respectable life begins. Even though none of my alts have achieved item level 600 because I was distracted with Brawl Stars and other real life things rather than playing this, to be honest. I haven't spent that much time. But anyway, you're very close to item level 600 then, which is great in my opinion. Now, the time-warped relic coffer keys that I mentioned to you, they are dropping from all bosses inside of Blackrock Depths. And at first, when you don't do preliminary research or listen to me talk to you right now, I didn't watch any preliminary kind of video overviews, you look at those keys, and the keys, the item level on a key is item level 597. You're like, yes, baby. First of all, heaps of keys. Presumably, in your mind of a normal person, one key opens one chest of sorts, yeah? You would think, especially as we were just trained on that by having one key per one opening of a chest at the end of a delve, yeah? So you're like, oh my god, you're showering me with these keys, thank you very much. Maybe there is not a 100% chance to get something good from the chest, but at least I have a lot of chances. That's a true, real celebration, yes! Except, no, not so easy. You finish the whole wing of you know, Blackrock Depths, say Shadowforge City or something, you kill those bosses, and each boss gives you, I think, like 10, 12 keys. You're like, wow, yes. Then you get out, you go back to the quest hub, and there is a vendor that you can turn these keys to, and then you can buy stuff from them. And first disappointment here is that you need 40 keys to get one piece of gear from that vendor, which is freaking crazy, okay? Secondly, those keys are item level 597. Yeah, baby. But the gear that you're buying with them is 584. Lowest item level gear, similar to the one that you get from Wing 1 of Neroba Palace LFR. Explain to me, if you are a defender of Blizzard, first, why inflate the price so much? Just drop fewer keys from each boss, or drop one key from each boss, or something like that. Why drop this abstract number of keys and then each item costs 40? That's the first thing, simply doesn't making sense to me. Okay, maybe you can go to the comments below and either agree with me or tell me how wrong I am. Secondly, I do not understand why falsely label the keys dropping from LFR wing. I understand that there is normals, I understand there is heroics, and their item level is higher. But why label these keys at item level 597, getting people falsely excited, and then, then they get the gear from the vendor that's trash, item level 584. Do not get it. I don't even think I'm being nitpicky here. I think it's just poorly designed element of this. Otherwise, yeah, they tried. Yeah, they tried. That's my overall feeling of this event. Okay, we're stuck on BRD, but that is meat and potatoes kind of this gearing circuit. You can get potentially quite a lot of gear by just doing the BRD. The only problem is, well, not the only problem, I already listed a few problems. Another problem with this is that, unfortunately, this wing of Blackrock Depths is going to be resetting, looks like, on a weekly reset, not on a daily reset. And that's how normal LFR works, but that's not how it used to be in Mists of Pandaria Remix if we were to continue driving parallels for special events. I mean, special events, yeah? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Should we be able to farm them every day? Considering how not generous and not really generous on item level or on the number of keys we get from the bosses, I don't think it's too crazy. And what's the big deal? Just let people farm these freaking bosses and have something extra to do other than kill the Tanaris bosses. Well, yeah, there are a few other things for us to do, but that's the core part of this gearing loop, which is why I'm so sort of semi-disappointed with it. Okay. Here is a number 4 for you. Q for the Codex of Chromie. Codex of Chromie, other than just satisfying your curiosity for the very first time in terms of what's that, you know, it gives you gear first time per week, again, on the lockout. That gear, it rewards you the gear, if I'm not mistaken, between item level of 584 and 590. That's just kind of standard range for the purple gear that you're gonna get. It's rather brain dead. You just fly after Chromie across Silithus, kill different groups of enemies while she fixes the broken codex, and then you fight Tichondrius at the end. Tichondrius fight I actually quite liked. He looks like he acts as if he's a world boss in an open space, but it's fun. Everyone piles on him. There are some techniques, some mechanics to look out for, which is great. I like that it's not entirely brain dead, I suppose. But Codex of Chromie is repeatable in my opinion, but definitely not something that would be like, oh, do this first on each alt. Nah, I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so. Now, if you're even more so bored and even more so inundated with the free amounts of time, I'm very jealous of your amount of free time, you could be also then, while queued perhaps for BRD and having nothing else to do, you could be flying between the spots around Kalimdor, the whole global map I'm saying, and killing the Dragons of the Nightmare. Dragons of the Nightmare are here. You open the map, and luckily this time around they have the marker, similar marker as we have in Tanaris map, across the whole map of Kalimdor and showing to you where other dragons are. Now this is where I recommend this. Of course you spend some time in the queue, so you might as well be flying somewhere with a purpose. I get it. However, I think it's still time inefficient and the loot reward is not guaranteed from the dragon, obviously. So I think to not waste too much time, if you are in Tanaris, which is in Kalimdor, I would limit your flights to Kalimdor only, which means killing just the dragon in Theralas and killing Azurigos, maybe. But I would not bother going to the other continent just for the potential of another one loot drop of a moderate item level. It's not like we are even hunting for above 600s. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Slightly disappointed overall, again, kind of to just not skip on this, is that in the, say, within the expansion proper, the world within, the world bosses drop 600 plus gear. 603 or something, if I'm not mistaken. And here the world bosses drop sub 600 gear. I don't know why, they are freaking world bosses. Why not? Of course they reset every day, but it's a special event, why not shower people with gifts? Why not shower people with loot? Why that limitation? Big deal, Blizzard. I think it's stingy. Final thing is obviously queuing for Timewalking Dungeons. Legacy Timewalking Dungeons. It's just Timewalking Dungeons, except it's old dungeons. So it's variety of content, it's different to the current set of dungeons, it's different to your typical Timewalking Dungeons, it's okay. But the gear is mediocre that's dropping from there, nothing to write home about at all. If I'm not mistaken, it's like 5, 6, 7 or something, correct me in the comments down below. By this point, I already don't pay attention, that's why I might be getting the item level a bit wrong. So, it's not something that I would prioritize. Why and when would you prioritize Timewalking Dungeons, though, running Timewalking Dungeons? If you are a tank and if you are leveling. Because your queue is going to be instant, and you're going to be hop, go through. You will get better and better and better and figure out the best path through these old dungeons if you are not an expert and not a veteran. Yeah, okay, we'll take you a couple of learning things. I can put up a bit of a guide for you if you really want to. Talk to me in the comments down below. I don't want to waste my time if no one is interested. But other than that, what are they good for? It's an afterthought. It's a filler. It's a filler, the Timewalking Dungeons, in my humble opinion. So that's it. We have the Tanaris Bosses, which are a priority. We have the Blackrock Depths LFR, which are all wings that I think you should do. Maybe you want to skip the final boss in the final wing simply because of very, very painful trash leading up to it. You simply don't want it in terms of time efficiency and emotional investment. Maybe you want to skip that. Then you have Codex of Chromie. Then you have the Dragons of the Nightmare. Stick to Kalimdor so that you don't have to fly too far. And the filler for you are Timewalking Dungeons. Let me know in the comments down below if I've missed anything, and if maybe you feel that I'm not giving it due justice and it's like, oh, so much fun and you are missing the point, Gyro. We don't have to agree, but I would love to hear you out. So, thanks for watching today this video. Yeah, I want to connect with you before Path of Exile 2 launches and I disappear for a little bit from the context of World of Warcraft. I am not going anywhere forever. I am just going to refocus a little bit, and I look forward to it really, because this is it's okay, especially the Blackrock Depths edition of Blackrock Depths LFR. I think it's okay. But does it make me excited like good old days? No, it doesn't. Not even close. Not even like remotely close. That is my closing thoughts. If you're enjoying it, more power to you. I don't judge. I'm just sharing how I feel. And I hope this little optimized circuit of gearing in the 20th anniversary of World of Warcraft celebration event is going to help you out. Don't forget to like the video before you drop out, so that more of similarly minded casual players who want to just chill and have a good time can benefit from it. Thank you very much. Talk to you next week about something else, World of Warcraft or other gaming related. Goodbye for now.